Do 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 do. I'm a boop boo doo doo. Ba da da do ba do da do da ba do da da do da da do da da do dee da dee do. I was waiting for that jump scare, and then my voice do 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 do. We're gonna load this so fast because I haven't shared that I'm streaming with anybody that we're going to immediately resume and hide my username. Thank you, Adblock, for updating. We're doing some casual Planet Zoo shenanigans. No one else is here. This is fine. Posting the links to get going. Viva Pantanal. Hi Mousy, welcome to the stream. I was going to do a different game, and then work decided to be rough, so we are just doing some Planet Zoo to hang out with this evening. I'm just letting people know because I started hella late. Normally I'm a 7 p.m. fella, but I didn't get home till 7:30, so I was like, I'm just gonna wait an hour and go. We're gonna work on some Viva Pantanal because yeah, that's just kind of how it be anymore, but we're not gonna worry about it. Let's see. Where haven't I posted link? I really should get like a bot or something to do this, but you know what? Nah. I kind of like it makes me check on communities more often. Okay. How are you doing, Mossy? What's been interesting about today? Oh, I don't think you were here for the last stream. You haven't seen like all the updated stuff. Here, let me show you real quick. Okay, we're gonna go in standard mode. We're gonna go and explore. So what we did last time is we finished building out the plaza a bit more. I thought it was a fun little thing with the water spitting giant otters. Built a bathroom, some gifts, got some foliage, some conservation. But we built our first two habitats, including giant otters. Here, let me unpause the game, because we can also just go walk in the habitat, because what's gravity? Or physics? We've got 8 of them running around. Playful, bounceful little fellas. And then we got their neighbors who share the lake next door done. We'll skirt through this little indoor shelter I need to build up a little more, but we're not going to worry about that. And then we're going to go say hi to their neighbors. Dude. Oh, the zookeeper's right there. That's why the gate opened. I was like, why is the gate opening randomly? So in here, somewhere... See if they're underwater. They've been hanging out underneath the water. We have spectacled caimans. There's about 6 of them. This is Marisa. I built them this really large pond, and then I'm like, oh, you guys don't really need a large pond. You're not that big. Because I forgot that spectacle caimans aren't the largest of the caimans. That goes to the black caiman, which looks a lot like an American alligator. But I was going to have caimans. And then if we go up out of the water, you can see him just poking his head out there, floating menacingly. Visitors love them for whatever reason. And you'll notice there's little waterfall features over here too. These are actually 2 separate habitats, or what are going to be 2 separate habitats. The bush dogs and the maned wolves. I got a little funky with the physics, so I had to, improvise. Hey, I feel you on the tiring of the dayness. I help install security systems for living in the real world. And fire alarms, and we replaced an entire fire alarm panel because we thought the panel was causing all the issues, and after spending 8+ hours working on it and driving late last night for it to go get said panel, we got it on, plugged it all in, got it turned on, and the same issues were happening, so it's not been solved. But I think today we're going to just build a Maine fox habitat, because they're a really fun animal. And I love this viewpoint for them, because then you get the background of the hills, and we can build up some smaller hills to make their habitat look just really cool. I think that's what we're going to do tonight, because I'm just going to keep it simple. Now, admittedly, I spaced out the habitat for both those fellas and what will be the jaguar. I did include an underwater view of the jaguar's habitat just because I think they're fun like that, and I think that tree in particular is going to create a really good sight line for the habitat. But I think tonight we're just going to go build a Maine wolf. Staff paths. Oh, undo. Undo. Helps when you build it in the right spot. Whoopsies. And then we need to build... Yeah, I don't think I put a gate on that one because I wasn't sure where I was going to put it. I think here will be fine. That gives that, and we'll hide that as it goes on. So let's take a look at the Maine wolves. And I'm hoping I can get to the new 25 subscriber goal and then get enough average streamer views so I can get the affiliate so I can let people name animals, because I have so many animals I could use names. We're close. I think last I checked it was 18? Yeah, I've seen them once or twice. They're not as common in... you have to get certain geographical ranges of the U.S. to see them personally. And I've only seen them once or twice, but every time I have it, I'm like, look at that weird dog built on stilts. Alright, so do I have any good pre-built fences? I don't remember. Let's see. This is a custom short fence that I built a while ago. Something you would just sink down into the earth. But they're going to need tall things because they're long-legged boys, aren't they? And this I found the other day, but that's because I was feeling the old Zoo Tycoon nostalgia. So I found fences for all the old Zoo Tycoon things. But I've also like this is like what I love about the workshops, that you can come see and look at other people's fences and be like, oh, that's cool. I want to try that. Let's see. Is this a flex color? Because if it's flex color, I'll use it. But if not, no. How tall barriers do they need? I didn't look that up. Grade 2 at 10 feet. Jeez. Okay, so we need tall fences, but not necessarily strong fences. Let's see. Yeah, I've mostly designed small little things for casual stuff. Now, I could do these rope fences and just double stack them, but I don't think I want to do that. Let's see. I could redo the mud pillar fence. Give it the habitat a little variety. Oh yeah. No, so fence building is pretty easy because you use the null barriers, and then you just go, wouldn't this look fun? And you go into the workshop and you find just the most random of pieces and be like, okay, so here's an oceanic driftwood, and then you'd find like some logs that would match. And I get fun. You can get kooky with them. So like this was a large animal fence I built for when I was going to do YouTube videos, which I may still end up doing if I can ever get this commission finished from a person. They've been having some trouble, so I'm not trying to rush them. But my eventual goal is I will have a little guy talking when I talk. But for the current time being, it's just been kind of like exploring my options and things like that. I think we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to go with the mud pillar fence, my beloved classic. But I think what we'll do... Okay, Mouse, I need you to cooperate with me here. I think what we'll do is we will change the color to be something more in line with these rocks. Yeah, there we go. That feels more like... That way it feels naturalistic, and then if I plant plants around it, it's not bizarre. And then you switch them around, and bada bing, bada boom. And then if you want to... That way, then it gives some height variation to the fencing and makes it look naturalistic. And then we can put plants hanging off of it. And what I think what I want to do is, going off of this sight line here, I'm going to hide most of these behind hills and build some give some off-stage viewing to hide the fencing as best as we can. That way we don't disrupt that sight line. I didn't place that one like a complete jackass, so that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Boom. Bap. Bam. I used these when I was doing a random stream for friends back when I was trying just to make sure I could physically stream, my computer could handle it and everything. And I built this with a rhino habitat. It's gonna probably start out as a PNG tuber, um, mostly because it was easier on my wallet at the time of I was commissioning it, but also because it was unusual. Um, I don't tend to go for normal anything in life. Uh, Never been my forte. But it is unironically a zookeeper. I have just been referring to him when people ask as the keeper, and he runs the Eternal Zoo. He's not human, mostly. Um, and this is one of those things where, like, unless if you like gone into obscene little details, I've been like technically teasing him a bit. Um, so the keeper is based off of the little skull that I use as a icon. It is a diagram, an old diagram, but still valid diagram of a fossil mammal called an Arsinoitherium. It is one of my favorite prehistoric mammals to exist. It has two horns that are solid bone jutting out of its face, like a like kind of like if a rhinoceros's horns went two separate ways. Big old boy. It was an Afrothere, so that means its closest living relatives are hyraxes, African elephants, um, manatees, etc. So it looked like a rhino, lived like an elephant. I've been sinking those guys down. I might need to raise them up. Hold on. Or I might lower them, depending on how, because I think I have breakouts turned off. But, where was I? Oh, right. The keeper. Arsinoitherium. So Arsinoitherium looked a lot like rhinoceros, lived as a browser in forests of Eocene Egypt, back when Egypt was still part of the Tethys Sea, and it lived in coastal mangrove forests and rainforests off of this shallow ocean that is now the Sahara Desert. And for a while, it was thought it lived almost like a hippopotamus of sorts. So you had an animal that looked like a rhino who was closely related to an elephant who lived like a hippo. And while that hippo diet thing isn't 100% true, necessarily, it was funny enough and fun enough that it stuck in my head. Yes, Clementine, you are hungry. You are a dragon. This is how it works. They are silly little guys. Sure, they might be the size of an elephant, but they're silly little guys. So it's a skeletal head with that, and he's gonna have some fun things. And like once the commissions get done, I want to do a big full reveal and do like a little special announcement thing of it, and be like, hey, let's see how people like him. You're gonna just raise some small hills just to block out that fence a bit. And then some private areas where the Maine wolves can hide, because Maine wolves are shy around large populations of guests. That's why you don't see them so much in zoos. And then when you look at it and we put some vegetation on them hills, that's going to help that'll look a lot more naturalistic. And I'll blend that sight line into the background, and I think that's something I want to try to focus on more. But yeah, so the keeper is that. The keeper also, ironically, did not start out as a zookeeper, but started out as one of my other obsessions in life, with a horror-themed character of a lighthouse keeper inspired by the 2019 movie The Lighthouse, among other things. So I commissioned some art of that, and I was going to go that direction for a while. And then I was like, okay, so what am I going to do for when I'm streaming? What am I going to play? And like, I love horror media and talking about horror and things, but at the time I was considering doing the YouTube, and I was like, well, if I'm going to do that, I like talking about horror, but inevitably I'm going to go talk about dinosaurs and animals in zoos and conservation. And it's easier to go and be like, hey, I'm an interdimensional zookeeper who's studying preserving these strange forms of wildlife, including graboids and these other horror and science monsters and things. But video editing is a lot of work, and with the new job, I don't have a lot of time, so it kind of translated well here. And then I am going to cheat with the main wolves. So, ZHS Plays is a really good channel who does zoos. They're doing a wonderful city zoo called Belmont Zoo. And for Belmont Zoo, he had a South American area, and he built his own custom pampas grass. And he put it on the workshop. So we're using it because he put it on the workshop. And I think it is lovely. And it should give our maned wolves, in theory, some shelter. I don't know how much they'll actually be able to walk through it, but it gives them a more environment like the Andes, even though this is the Pantanal. And I have been saving this just for the next time I was going to do maned wolves, and well, here we are again. And we'll put some other trees and things, but this was the big one I wanted to do. And then what I figure is I'll have these and some trees on the hills, keep the sightline as best as I can, some trees around here in the back. And then we'll have these more open dirt areas where I'll put in some buffalo grass or something, lower it down, and we'll have enrichment items so that the main bulls have a reason to come out front in front of the guests. Should be fun. Yeah, and the Arsinotheriums can be little when you compare them to like a Dreadnoughtus, but like anything compared to a Dreadnoughtus is small. And then you compare it to a whale and you go, oh right, I forget we live in a time with massive titans. They just don't live on land anymore, they live in the oceans. Because the oceans are free for weird shenanigans to occur. And I think what we'll do is we'll plant some pampas grass here by the fencing. To give it that hireland look. He's got this tiny little one where you can use to patch out like more of the ground stuff. So you could do like But yeah, so there's one coming at some point. I commissioned an artist. It feels like ages ago. It's probably been about 6 or 8 months. Good friend of a friend of mine who did stuff for their channel. They don't have a Twitch, but if you look up Tentacle Teapot on YouTube and TikTok and a few other places, that's where she posts her videos. They're very fun reviews. 10 is a hoot and a holler, both in and out of character. And once I get the PNG tuber stuff set up and I get the official announcements and go more in character, she is a person I wish... 10 is a person I wish to have on the streams as someone to chat with, to give more commentary. Because sometimes I just go rambling into the void, and that's fine, but... you know, it's nice to have people to chat with in a stream, because I feel like it gives more engagement. something I know that is not the easiest when I stare at plants and I go, yes, rotate, rotate the patate. But yes, seeing your comment on the horror, what's your favorite horror movie? My personal favorite is The Ritual, because I'm weird like that. I caught it once while just at an old roommate's, with my old roommate's, a Netflix account, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting, and it fundamentally changed how I viewed horror. Because you also because it mixed, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's spoilers if there is. Saw and Scream are good ones. I do enjoy a good Scream movie. Saw is one I have troubles getting into, but I believe it's more of the torture scenes that just make me go, ooh, I can feel that in my toes, and I don't like that. But I also don't fault, like, they're good movies, so I can't be upset by them, you know? Okay, so I think that's enough of the pampas grass. Like, this will be plenty for the main wolves. We're gonna give them... Okay, so we're gonna go clear the Pam out biome, grassland, tropical, and aquatic continent, South America. I think what we'll do is we'll plant more of those Seropia trees because I love them and they're fantastic trees. And they create very interesting sight lines. Let's see what else. We should add some of these palms, because I can't imagine... they would not be here. And I feel like they're a fun visual flair for a more terrestrial habitat. Not when they're floating in the air, but you know what I mean. Go get these boys some shelter. Oh, that could be fun. So you have these aquatic jetties, right? Like here, we'll use one of the smaller ones. So like these would be shelters for good aquatic animals. We could take like this platform section and kind of like maybe angle it up and raise it up as a shelter. I don't know. Maybe we'll find something that... That's a little excessive. That's a starter main wolf habitat. Oopsies. Actually, it's a little cheesy to use the blueprints sometimes, but I feel like for the main wolves, this is a perfectly good thing. It gives them a place for shelter. And it kind of fits the aesthetic and vibe of the area. Like, that one's just a little too big, since there's only I'm probably only going to put about 1 or 2 of them in here. Oh, really? Yeah, zombies are fantastic. I was actually talking with my friend about the other day of just some really good zombie movies. 28 Years Later is coming out soon, and I am unironically stoked for that. Because 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later were genuinely very fun movies. And I really liked them. Okay, so let's put a pinata zebra about here. And we'll put a chew toy here and make sure that... And we'll put a dog ball over here. We're not done with foliage, but I'm like, we should get some stuff. And then we'll put a scent marker over here. And then just for the fun sites of it, we'll put a prey scented stack up here. And then I do want to put more of these water lilies, as they are a fairly common theme in this habitat section of the zoo. Though I will be honest with you, I think when I finish up with this section, it will be a while before I come back to these giant lily plants in a zoo. They are fun, but I have used a lot of them. But yeah, I think what I want to do overall is I think this area here that doesn't currently have anything set up, I'm going to plant as a more open grassland kind of a feeling with the South American plants. Then you have the maned wolves, and it gets more tropical as you go around. So you get the bush dogs, and then it gets more tropical as you hit the jaguars. And I love that you guys are going and just walking on random paths. There's nothing over here yet, guys. And then you have very tropical for these jaguars, and for the tapirs and the giant anteaters, it evens a little bit back out as you go across back into the main section. You are way too big. But we are going to use you, I think, to help accentuate shade. Which means we will need to move the Seropia tree, because it's technically a rainforest tree, but... let's see, what else do we have grassland-wise? Get through all these habitats. Tick seed. Right, I forgot tick seed. Yes, I am so excited for that movie. And I don't know, to be honest with you, with the new DLC, what I'm excited for. Um I haven't paid attention to see if they dropped any news about it during this time, because Jurassic World Evolution 3 is coming, and I already want to pre-order it and may pre-order it tomorrow after payday hits. We will see. Because I am optimistically excited for it, but I am remaining cautious until I see more features of it. Because by and by, the overall changes, with especially the Planet Coaster 2 new features they've put into the game, like the terrain features alone, the deep water, the swimming. I didn't really care about the babies. I understood that, like, you know, there's limitations of the game and what you can do, but the fact they figured out a way how to bring them in is wonderful. I'm curious to see what the game will have entirely to it, because it seems very focused with the trailer that we got. See, that gives it just a more, like, ruffled texture. I like that. Is it necessarily the most realistic? No, but it's fine. My main wolves can play happy in the tick seed and roll around. Where was I? Oh, right. I'm really excited. The new tools are fantastic. Um, the maps look great. I like something I don't think got talked about because I don't know if it got confirmed enough. But with the deep water features, it looks like you can, in theory, build custom lagoons a lot easier. And if that's the case, Ho Chi Mama, I'm gonna be like all over that shit. The new building options, yes, the new building options, the customizable building, like it would be one of those. I might get sucked into it, and I play the Jurassic World Evolution 2 on stream for quite a while. You know what I mean? Like, it might be a while before I get back into the Planet Zoo when it drops, but it's not until October, so that's plenty of time. And I won't give up this game because I've grown a love for it like I have the classic Zoo Tycoons now. It is ingrained in there as, oh, this is one of the ones that I'll probably play long after Planet Zoo 2 drops, just because it's like, I miss this one. I will say I am a little, I don't want to say disappointed because I understand the logistics behind it, but they're dropping, you know, I think it was like 30 up to potentially like 36 species from the Jurassic World Evolution 2. And I'm just hoping that, you know, it's something that they're like, okay, cool, we had to cut some of these rosters down. We were overweight and overbloated with Jurassic World Evolution 2, because truth be told, I love the game, but it brought everything from Jurassic World Evolution 1 DLC-wise, everything into 2, and then had a 10-year cycle, and it had 120, you know, prehistoric creatures you could recreate. That's a lot. You know? So, like, I get, like, especially with introducing the baby mechanics and everything, you have to calm things down a little bit. But I'm just worried that we're gonna... My worst fear at this point is that we're gonna see DLCs in the future, because that's how Frontier makes their money, and I don't blame them for that. But we're gonna see DLCs, and it's just going to be they've updated slightly and made some variants to the existing pre-established models, especially ones that the fans have been like, these could use some updates. Because I don't want to pay, you know, $10-20 for a $10 to $20 for your DLC pack to get the Jurassic World Evolution 1 Chunkingosaurus back. Because I don't think that boy's coming back, unfortunately. That gives that a nice little pop of green. I'm hoping for crocodilians. I think we're not going to see too many brand new stuff, and more of just rebuilding upon what's established out the gate. But if you had told me when I started Jurassic World Evolution 2, and I'm pretty sure I said this when I started Jurassic World Evolution 2, it's like, this would be fun to, like, it'd be fun for them to put in, like, feathered dinosaurs or things like that, but there's no way they're going to do it. It's a Jurassic Park game. And then Frontier fucking did it, so I don't know anymore. But I hope some crocodilians would be cool. See, what I could see them doing is kind of what they've done for, like, Planet Zoo in the past. Like, hey, this is the North African themed pack. And then, like, features, like, a redone Suchomimus to fit the Chaos Theory design. Right. And then it has a revamped Carcharodontosaurus and the Oranosaurus. But then it adds, like, Caprasuchus. Because now you can have swimming crocodiles. Or you get like a Madagascar pack. We get the Munjungasaurus and Majungasuchus and Beelzebufo. Because the things they would do to have a giant frog in a game. Hybrids, it's... I don't know. I didn't think it... The problem is that when Jurassic World Evolution, the first one, introduced their expanded hybrids with the Spinoraptor, Stegoceratops, and Ankylodocus, they did it with a story expansion. They gave it this depth. And I was like, this is cool and sick, and I love it. Yeah, even if the original Ankylodocus looks a little goofy. Sure. And then Jurassic World Evolution 2 just kind of brought them back, made the Ankylodocus less goofy, which, fair, you're looking for long-term longevity. Put in the Spinoceratops hybrid from, the kid show, and was like, here you go. And I'm like, no new campaign, no... Like, you'd think people making hybrids again would be, like, at least a couple of missions or something, or a chaos theory, and then nothing. So and that's the other thing I'm waiting for with the JWE3, because I don't know what, like, are they going to bring back chaos theory mode, where you get to build the different themed Jurassic Parks and worlds and things, because I thought that was a fun system and setup. A couple of them need fixing, but with these new terrain modifications and features, you could get some more in-depth maps for that and build up on the islands again and have some fun. But it's way too early to know what they're going to do for sure. Oh, we need to change the name. I forgot this is saved as that. So it's Southport Zoo. I do love that we have this zoo reputation built up on all this. But let's go get some maned wolves, shall we? Let's see, who do we have? We have Cristano, Constanica, Fatima, and Salmao. We'll get Salmao, because that's a fun name. And then Constanica, because... Yes, and we're going to get those two. And we're going to go to the animal storage. And we're going to send to zoo, but we're not going to send here to Habitat 9 because I send every animal I get first to quarantine. And while they go to quarantine, we will rename the habitat. We'll set up their guest stuff and get building. I think this is a little nice, proper, nice little Maine wolf habitat. Visually interesting, plenty of room, but also gives a nice little avenue back here for them to just kind of kick back and relax if they don't want to be by visitors. Plenty of pampas grass to rest and hide behind, but also plenty of things to do so that guests can actually see them. And we put this one over here so that visitors have it at this end. And then we're going to put some benches. What benches was I using on this side? Because I know I put some benches over here. Duplicate. I think we're going to put some... So I'm really tempted to actually, like, once I get the Jaguar exhibit set up, do an animal talk point over here looking at them, but I might save that for another section of the zoo. Alright, so we got that set up. Let's get some trash cans built up too, actually, because I always forget those, and then we get swarmed with visitors, and then it gets filthy, and I'm like, oh no, I don't know what to do with these. So, I don't know. I should have a couple of classic trash cans, or what trash cans I use. I use the South America bins. That's very me. But yes, we're building all these trash bins so visitors can come. We're just gonna place some stuff here, just to give a little bit of like, okay, you come out and it's not just you look, guests can see the sign. It's like, okay, cool, we're in a special area that doesn't have us getting all tangled up. And then we're going to go to my quarantine, and Constantinica and Salomao are here. We are going to put them into, not the Cayman Cove. I don't know how that would go. We're going to put them in the main wolf habitat. But you know, I'm so, like I said, everything, the positives so far for Jurassic World Evolution 2 are just so good that I can't even be upset with it. I'm optimistic. I'm excited. I'm going to build out. I love that they put Triceratops forefront in the game. Triceratops is one of my favorite dinosaurs. I would love for them to put in my favorite dinosaur, which is a Ceratopsian, in the game. They probably never will because, unfortunately, it has suffered the fate of being too well known to be interesting. Apologies for the soda noises. I was thirsty. I'm just waiting for them to bring us our animals. And then we'll hide these up and make them look good too. And behold, off to the races we go. And immediately behind the pampas grass, fantastic. They look gorgeous. I think we have a new popular favorite. I don't know about you guys, but they're really hyped to learn about this maned wolf. I think guests are really excited to see the maned wolves. Holy, that's a lot of people. I think that sightline is the perfect habitat design. Gosh, like you know, you always see like in the street, like the YouTube videos, like this is one of my favorite habitats I've ever built. This might be one of my favorites. Like here, there's like I'm seeing like small things I tweak. I give the trees more of a foliage-esque footing. Yeah, I think if I went and looked at my popularity, we'd get a new appealing habitat species soon. I think that's a certified win in my book. I don't know about you, Mossy. I don't know if anyone else is in stream, if I should be just addressing chat, but I'm having an absolute blast. What time is it? Just so I'm not keep getting... this is probably going to be a short stream, but you know, it is what it is. But we got plenty of time, so let's go ahead. Let's take a look over here at what we can do to make this area, or disguise this area a bit more. Let's go to biome tropical, because we want to start blending in the trees here. I do think these omubu trees are genuinely some of the best South American plants we have. Because you just put in, like, you know, a couple, and it's like, okay, cool, this sets the mood for an area. Oh, I put that in that. That's fine. And you put some scalova bushes. You get the 8-meter monsters. And make sure they don't cover the path too much. And these guys will just eat up space if you let them. Just absolutely devour and dominate. They're good ground coverage is what I'm thinking is the word I'm looking for. You get that, like, just sploosh of growth. That's probably not the right word either, but you know what? It's been a long day. I can make fun words up if I want to. Alright, well, thank you. Go get you some food. We're just gonna go hang out. I'm just gonna finish planting up some bushes and get some of this going, and we're going to align the surface here, and I think we're going to I like me some hanging mouse. And that should help transition into the next area. Nothing too nuts. But I think what we'll do is we'll just duplicate some of these. Oops, undo. Duplicate. Okay. I think what we're gonna do for the time being, gonna take off that fence tag. We're gonna start building a custom. Apology, that was a nasty noise. We're gonna start building, I think, a custom fence for the bush dog. Let's see what the bush dog needs and what space-wise. Such a pretty animal. Gorgeous little gal. Let's see. Bush dog, bush dog, bush dog, bush dog. It's natural okay, so we have up to 11 males, up to 11 females. We're gonna do like we did with the otters. We're gonna go 8. They need grade 2 fencing at 1.25 meters. We don't need anything terribly tall. Okay, can I color a zookeeper random pole? Because this current white is just kind of obnoxious. Let's see, so we'll do this. Okay. I like that. And then I think if we go back to construction, we go to fence once more, but we scroll down. Construction. You're going to turn off the align to surface feature. We're going to advance duplicate. That is not advance duplicate, that is just advance move. Okay, so we're going to put this one there. And then we're going to advance move rotate. Rotate. So we're going to flatten. And then we're going to do these. We're going to do these. And we're going to pull it from upside down. Boom. Then you're going to duplicate an advanced move. Boom. Then we're going to control, duplicate an advanced move. Then we're going to slide it forward. And then we're going to slide it forward. We're going to slide it forward. And then we're going to drag this one up just a little bit more. And voila, we have a good small animal fence. I think that's pretty good. I don't know about you guys. Actually, you know what? You're right. Invisible voices in my head. Because if I reuse this for, like, badgers, I should have it so it's sunk in the ground. If anybody wants me to put this in we're going to put this in as other scenery. I'm going to create blueprint. But if anyone wants me to upload this to the workshop, just let me know. But my thought process is that here at the Southport Zoo, there was some concerns over if the bush dogs would escape from their exhibit because they are smaller than your average animal. Smaller than your average bear. Hey, boo boo. So these were built for that purpose. This way it keeps them safe in their habitat and keeps other wild animals from getting in the bush dog habitat. Like birds. Someone should feed them to the birds. Actually, we're going to cheat to make it a little easier on me. We're going to just duplicate and advance. Duplicate and advance. Duplicate and advance. So I have this like massive area picked out, right? Because I wanted to give him some dry land, but I think we're just gonna see a curve here with the fencing. Give him some upper dry land. I should build like an indoor building for him, but I just don't have the energy tonight, chat. But we also might not get to it tonight, chat. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Has anyone pet Clementine lately? Yes, I don't have affiliate or partner, so I can't get the bits. Right. I forget this. Anywho. So we're just custom building some fences, building for some bush dogs. Just building some fencing. I'll readjust the invisible barrier, but I think giving it the big loop just to have the variety of terrain and territory. Because I accidentally made this, and it's very, very shallow water and land, and I think I'm going to turn that into mud so that they have some mud to play in. I think that would be very fun. And I like this little habitat thing I built. It's kind of neat. I thought about putting mesh in between the bars, but I'm just kind of like, nah. Because, like, ideally, the lower fence is what keeps them in. This curved fence just keeps them from jumping up and slipping through. Like, I'm thinking, like, oh, this is super tedious, but it's like, oh yeah, I've done this massive curve for this habitat. Like, yeah, no wonder it's freaking massive. I might have to just introduce some more for sharp curves than what I have been for. So what we're doing is we're finding where the natural curve of the lane is, and then we're just gonna tag into it, I think. And delete the rest of these sons of guns. Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun little bush dog exhibit. Gonna get some fun little guys. So I don't think I've got anything going on the next 2 days. So I think what we might do, I'll post it on like Blue Sky and stuff, but we might try and go for a I don't know if we could follow-a-thon. I'd like to go for a big push because we're at 19 of 20 followers. Right? And it would be really kind of cool if we could hit that natural 20 mark soon. Or that 25 to get to affiliate. Because I think that would be awesome. And I think for that I'll do a special little secret stream. I don't know what I want to do. Like, I have some games I want to try out on stream for folks. Dredge, Pharaoh, A New Era, which is a classic game about building your own Egyptian-themed city, and I think that would be kind of fun. But I'd like to set up a reward. Maybe I'll just stream Final Fantasy IX and have some friends over and commentary for it. I don't know how many of them would be comfortable with appearing on a stream, but I know at least one of them that would show up for commentary and weird shenanigans. as long as there's no D&D games running, which this weekend there would be some because it's just not the ones I'm in. You know what? If I could, I'll make it a, like, not maybe affiliate since we're already pretty close, but maybe like a partner reward. I will stream like a TTRPG game, like a Dungeons and Dragons module or something of that nature. Because I think that would be a fun little treat. And also grab another aspect of the things that I enjoy and share with the world. I don't know. Like, it might be, counting my eggs before they hatch, but it would be kind of fun. And I mean, I've already, like, put me running games on the internet into existence. Actually, I probably could just take chunks of this. Oh, I can't duplicate more than one at a time. See, that's smart. That's playing with your brain. If you're struggling with it, you can just take 13 groups of the same individual fence and just slowly but surely merge them together to curve back in. We don't need that much curve, actually. Shoot. So probably just need to grab, like, this many machinery to group duplicate. Something that we can just go and do like this. Okay, game, don't do that to me, please. So I don't know how many people are in chat at the moment, but if you could see me, if you'd like to see me run a weird D&D game or something, let me know. I want a different selection of it actually here. Yeah, I'm liking how that's turning out. Making sure it didn't freeze. We're going to save real quick just so that we have some progress here at the Southport Zoo. So depending on how tomorrow goes, we may be streaming tomorrow with some more Planet Zoo. Or we might play some Path of Titans, or we might try one of the new games. We'll see. But I think the goal is in the next 3 days. And I think we're just gonna delete the path here, and we will relay it. Oh, that's weird. Why did you do that? Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to get the glass panes. Oops, I got cap lock on. So these are the 4x4, 4 meter thin, 2x2. This is what we're looking for. Hi, Clement Hungry. I'm the Eternal Zoo. We've talked about this. That's the wrong button. Whoopsies. That's the Windows key. Curse my love of building ornate. Because we're building up some rather fancy pole covers for a viewing gallery. All of this for bush dogs. Gonna have a kooky doo. Why am I talking like that? You think I would talk better? But yep, we're just building. Actually, you know what? I think what we're going to do, because it's just easier at this point, is build one glass pane and design the rest of them off. Just copy it off of the rest of them. That would save us all the trouble, wouldn't it? That's not the one I wanted to do. We're just vibing as we spin, trying to make custom fencing. And skewing horrifically. That is the wrong thing. Oopsie doopsies. Duplicate. Is this perfect? Absolutely not. Is this going to serve the current purpose I need? For now, yes. Like, I might want to fix that curve into here, but we'll work on that as it goes. I think the next thing we need to do is fix these barriers. Otherwise, we're going to have a big problem. Because as you can see, and I'm doing all of this for bush dogs, which aren't even my favorite dogs. Though to be fair, we did build main wolves already, so you know. And we're just going to go to here, and we're just going to move these out. But yeah, so far it's been a good casual little stream. I've been enjoying it so far. Hoping to get to 20 followers by the end of the night, but you know, we'll make do with whatever we get. So let's look at the bush dog and what biomes it lives in. Grassland, tropical, aquatic. So pretty much the same three we've been working with. But I have a plant that I'm thinking of. One that makes me enjoy these boys so much more. We're gonna get... it's just a scaling only item, I guess. Behold, the giant rhubarb. One does not imagine just a simple rhubarb as being these massive, but as a low canopy growing plant. Um, they have gigantic leaves and can grow to some quite massive proportions. This ornamental plant actually does well as a garden species as well. So sometimes you can get into, like, you're at home, like in the United States, and you're just chilling, and all of a sudden there's these gigantic, like you're going down the road driving your car, and then bam, giant rhubarbs. Because all they need is sun and a decent amount of water, if I remember right. They're pretty hardy plants. Now the bush dogs treat them like trees, but it's like a rhubarb isn't a plant you expect to get as big as trees. So I like to use them as like little guiding things. I think we're going to scroll to the bottom though, because one of the other trees I want to put in a whole bunch of are the yellow ipe trees. These are some of my favorite South American trees in the entire game, and they add just the nicest splash of color when you need them. I'll do some massive wimba trees for shade. Let's find some good trees. I think some tree ferns would be lovely here. And to add to the splash of color, we'll get some tamarind trees. You know what's something I realized I didn't do? I did not check to make sure that these were not climbable. Because that can slow down your game, but I don't see anything to turn them. Let's see. Okay. To anybody online watching this stream, what are your thoughts on zoos in general? Clementine, you can't jump scare me like that. Like, yeesh. I know the chat's quiet, but you know what? They're allowed to be quiet. It's 10:15 at night, Eastern Standard Time. It's one of those, I might go find somebody to raid here in a little bit, because usually we go to like 7 to 11, but like tonight I got here at 8, and I'm not really feeling like, going too kooky. I got potentially another rough work day tomorrow, but I also plan on playing more Planet Zoo, I think, tomorrow. Like, I could do other games if I had other people who were interested in other games. But yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. Oh, I may have cut off my keepers from getting over here. I didn't think about that. Because they don't go in the little water sections. I'm glad you warned me about this now so I can adjust and correct. Okay. If it's alright with you guys, I think we're gonna adopt the bush dogs. We're gonna put the bush dogs in the bush dog habitat. Bush dog. Reset filters. We're gonna go bush dog. We're gonna buy 8 of them. So MSM, Benedita, Jessica, Jose, animal storage. We're going to select all 4. We're going to send to zoo. Could send them to the Cayman Cove. I don't think they would appreciate it. But instead, we're going to send them to quarantine. And while we wait for them, we buy Carlos. We buy Cancina. And I think we've made some really good progress today. Like, we've gotten 2 new habitats in the Pantanal done. And I think guests are really excited to see them. You know what I mean? Part of me is debating swapping where the otters are with the caimans, because this more area for water play seems to be better suited for them. But I don't know if this would be a good caiman habitat. Oh, I know where people are stuck. I think I'm going to delete this because this is causing problems. Sorry, I was trying to fix that real quick. Oh, see, this is why we send animals in to get cared for, because Canciana needs help. They're not going through a good time, they are injured. And we will help them. We will make sure they have good homes, are healed and taken care of by the best veterinary staff. We'll call it Bush Dog Cove. Well, I have Cayman Cove. So we'll go Bush Dog Grotto. Oh, apologies, Chad. I'm starting to feel it a bit. I know tomorrow's gonna be a long day, but we'll have some Planet Zoo shenanigans. And we'll hopefully be able to go. I didn't know. Ooh, why are we checking? Whoa. What's going on? Pause the game, pause the game. Apologies, Chad. I don't know what's going on. I'm having some... Okay, apparently Planet Zoo is just eating up some stuff. So what we might do is... we might set a hard limit on the guests that can participate. Because I wonder if that's what's starting to cause them to chug. Because I went down to 6 frame seconds. If I went down to 6 frame seconds, y'all went down to 6 frame seconds. Oh, I opened that again. Whoopsies. Alright. They are swimming. They seem to be happy. Good. Benedita. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do some spacing things. We might start limiting it down because like 2,477 guests to the zoo is going to become a lot more. And if this is going to chug my resolution because they're running so fast and they're just so clustered together to see new animals, is going to make visiting this jaguar very interesting. Alright, with the new bush dogs, I think we've hit our point tonight, chat. Appreciate y'all for coming. Let's see who is streaming real quick. And we'll just camera in on one of the bush dogs. Which, unironically, because it's such a narrow focus, does drop the frame rate. Alright, let's see what's Twitch. Who's on that we can go raid? Let's see. What would be a good channel to raid? Thirst. It seems like mostly bigger streamers are on. That I got followed. I don't remember who Bayuka was. We might go say hi to Bayuka. How do we feel about that, chat? Anyone know Bayuka? I don't even know how many people I got in stream right now. I haven't been paying attention none, but you know what? That's okay. They seem to be doing a fire red. I don't know what that is actually. This seems to be a fire red hack of some variety. Let's see. Who do we think, chat? There's literally just one person. You know what? Let's go say hi to Bayuka. I don't remember when I followed them, to be fair, but this will be funny. And we go. Bye-bye.